happy to be here out at the Sun Valley Community Center to talk about something that's really helpful and important to the community. So you guys, while you're having lunch, if you don't want to listen to us, I understand, but we're going to get a little community information here. We've seen a lot going on in the community in the last 5 years or so. We finally got out of the recession. That happened about 3 years ago. So there's been a lot of job creation, about 50,000 new jobs and about 1,900 new businesses in the community and billions of dollars investment. You've seen that not too far from here with the new Southwest Regional Library. Hopefully you all go to that. Valley High School has been expanded significantly with the auditorium and the gymnasium as well. So those are just a few examples of what's happening here. But when people think about, hey boy, the economy's really going well, the facts are, to me, that there's just a lot of people that have not participated in the economic recovery. The middle class in particular is getting slammed right now. If you're on fixed income, it's very difficult as well. So those are some of the realities of what's happening in our country today, in our cities, not immune from that as well. So what we try to do is for folks that are still working is to have skill development programs like learning how to code software, learning how to be a salesperson through Louisville Sales. So there are these free training programs for people out there so they can upskill if they need to. So that's one part of it. But then there's another part, and that's making sure that people get back the money that they are owed from the federal government. And by making sure that their tax forms are complete in the proper way. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, because Sun Valley Community Center is one of the numerous sites around the city where we're helping to provide free tax preparation services to our citizens. We're partnering with AARP, and I don't see anybody in here that's old enough to be an ARP member, but maybe someday you all will grow up and be ARP members. I don't know if you were like me or not. When you got that first envelope from ARP, you're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to open that thing. But there's quite a few ARP eligible folks here today. So we're partnering with ARP and the Louisville Asset Building Coalition to give citizens access to about 20 free tax preparation sites here in the city. We're trained and IRS certified volunteers will assist with returns. And most importantly, this is where we want to focus on, help low and moderate income citizens apply for the Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC. That's where the money is. We're going to follow the money. And we got a real opportunity here because the IRS estimates that as many as 20% of eligible citizens don't claim this federal credit. So 1 out of 5 of your friends, more than likely, is leaving money on the table. And we've all worked too hard for our money to leave it on the table. Now, that means here in Louisville, there are families that are missing an average of $2,400. That's the averaged missed earned income tax credit in our community. And the maximum is $6,100. Okay, so I don't know about you all, but that's a lot of money where I come from. So the average is $2,400, the max is $6,100. And that happens when you don't take advantage of this earned income tax credit on your federal tax return. And so that's a lot of money, whether it's you're catching up on bills or you need to buy something new. Federal refunds, like what citizens get through an earned income tax credit, are what we call a personal economic stimulus program, because the thing that drives the whole economy is retail spending, about 70 to 75% of the economy. So most of those returns then start circulating in the community, and a lot of them with our Louisville-owned businesses as well. Last year, if you're asking, does this do any good? Last year, the Louisville Asset Building Coalition helped more than 10,000 Louisvillians file their tax returns, 10,000. And that led to about $16 million of federal and state refunds from these tax credits coming back into our community. So this is real money we're talking about here. So between the Asset Coalition and ARP, the volunteer aspect also saves you money on the tax preparation side. So we encourage everybody to take advantage of these, and of course, as I mentioned, we have the services available right here at Sun Valley. The good folks that step up for this, we call this the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, or VITA, V-I-T-A. They work with the Asset Building Coalition, and then the tax aid representatives with ARP. And what the goal is, obviously, as I mentioned before, is just free, high-quality tax services available in every corner of our city. And I really appreciate these volunteers for stepping up and just helping folks. Special thanks to the Metro United Way. I can't believe I'm saying thank you to the IRS, but thank you to the Internal Revenue Service as well, and dozens of partners that are working with us here in our city to make all this possible. When we have these 20 centers, I want to thank the community centers that step up, like Dana and your team here, so thank you guys very much. Community government centers, libraries, schools, and other locations that host these sites. So you all know you got a good team out here at Sun Valley, and it's always good to be out here and see the growth in the programs that are going on. So it's a good way to save money on tax services and get money with your earned income tax return. We got about a month to file your tax returns. Anybody not filed their tax returns yet? A few of you, good. I haven't either. So you got a month to figure it out, get some free assistance, and see if you qualify for this earned income tax credit. So we got to get our tax returns filed by April the 18th this year. All right, so we got a lot of help available. Please get in to do that. So we're going to hear from a variety of folks. We're going to talk more about the program right now. First, I want to ask Shelley Spratt to speak. She's an aide for our great Congressman John Yarmouth. Congressman Yarmouth has long been a champion and supporter of free tax services here in Louisville. So please welcome Shelley Spratt.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here today representing Congressman John Yarmouth, who is a huge supporter of VITA. VITA Awareness Day is a national effort to promote the importance of VITA programs and putting billions of dollars back in the pockets of low-income taxpayers nationwide. The Earned Income Tax Credit is very important to working families here in Kentucky. Last year, there were more than 404,000 people here in our Commonwealth who claimed an EITC, bringing in more than $966 million. That's an average of $2,391 per person. This is a tremendously important program that greatly assists those who need it the most, and I'm very proud to be here with you today to support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley, and please thank the Congressman for us. Now I'd like to introduce John Nevitt. John's from the Metro United Way, and the United Way served as a co-founder of this thing we call the Louisville Asset Building Coalition, and they support this effort in many ways. So on behalf of the Metro United Way, John.
So we're delighted to be here as a part of this effort today and get the word out about the free tax services in our community. Some really big numbers to share with you. Since 2001, since we co-founded the Louisville Asset Building Coalition, we've served over 88,000 filers across our community to secure a total of $128 million in tax refunds, of which about $51 million is in that very valuable credit that the mayor just spoke of, the Earned Income Tax Credit. And we estimate we've saved tax filers about $15 million in fees over that period of time as well. So a huge impact for our community. And we are committed through the Louisville Asset Building Coalition of remaining involved in helping people claim credits that will help them support themselves and their families for a long period of time. We also are committed to asset building, which is taking those credits and putting them towards savings, planning for future, helping the kids be successful. Those are all parts of the effort that are started with the free tax preparation. The eligibility for the services through the Louisville Asset Building Coalition are pretty simple. If your household income is up to $55,000 per year, you're eligible to receive free income tax preparation services, such as the program here at Sun Valley Community Center. For those who are interested in preparing their own taxes, there also are opportunities through Louisville Asset Building Coalition and their website, free software for federal and state income tax filing. labcservices.org is the website for that. And as we talked about, the Earned Income Tax Credit in particular reduces taxes for workers, supplements their wages, and provides financial resources for filers to pay their bills and meet their basic needs. And it is local economic impact. These dollars are not being sent to Swiss bank accounts. they're being spent right here in our community. To find out where you can find this free tax assistance, you can call our Metro United Way 311 Health and Human Services information number. That's just dialing the 3 digits 211, or you can go to that website I just referenced, labcservices.org. And then finally, I'd like to mention, if you haven't filed your taxes in previous years, you could be owed a refund. And in fact, the IRS estimates there's as many as 15,000 individuals right here in Jefferson County who've not done that, which is about $33 million in unclaimed refunds. So that April 18th deadline this year is also your opportunity to go back as far as tax year 2012 to file a return. If you wait till after April 18th, you can't go back past that 2012 date. You can still file for the last 2 years. And then finally, I would like to give a special thanks to some partners that are here today. I had a chance to speak with Representative Henderson, our former representative of this area, and he was very instrumental in getting this site going. Cindy Fowler, who you will hear from in just a minute, has championed it and grown it since then. Larry and Rosemary Mattingly have been longstanding partners. Deborah Prince, who's here with the Louisville Asset Building Coalition, so many others who've kept this going alive and strong. We appreciate their efforts, and we thank you for being here today.
Thank you, John. All right, folks, you're hearing about it. Sounds like money's falling out of the sky when you listen to all this, right? $33 million of unclaimed credits, so let's apply. Now we're going to hear from Doug Fowler. He's the local coordinator and represents ARP for our community. Doug?
Thank you, sir. Good morning. We have 20 sites in Louisville where volunteers prepare taxes for anybody who comes through the door. We have no restrictions on age or on income or on race or on sex or on height or on weight or on anything else. If you get through the door, we will attempt to prepare your taxes with a smile, and it's totally free. There is no membership requirement with the AARP. They're simply our parent, and they give us the shirts. So there are 175 volunteers in the Louisville Tax Aid Foundation group. And last year we did around 12,000 returns at 20 sites, and the refunds amounted to almost $5.5 million. The impact of the earned income credit was almost $826,000. Now, having said that, you want to hang around for a quarter of the year with some terrific people. We always look for more volunteers. Our volunteers are all trained. The preparers go through 40 hours of training every year, and then there are other jobs in the organization that welcome anybody that comes in to do something. AARP Tax Aid Foundation is co-sponsored by the IRS, it's funded by AARP and the AARP Foundation and private donations. It's effectively operated around the country by 35,000 volunteers, and it uses, to do that, 12 paid staff, all in Washington, D.C. I tell you that because it's an example of our neighbors coming together and giving the time they need to give and the good cheer they need to give to assist people who are just overwhelmed by the prospect of paying taxes to the government. And we have fun doing it. We all have fun. That's why we do it for up to 30 years. It's a good thing to do. And it's a way of helping people take care of their civic obligation. in the process, we will find every kind of nickel you can get back. Because that's part of what we like to do. That's part of what we like to do. So, thank you for the invitation to be here, Mr. Mayor. Have a good day.
Thank you, Doug. No, it's a tremendous example of community service and volunteership by all the folks that come together to help with the VITA services. And we have our Give a Day week of service coming up for the community, too. I think you all have done community projects here at Sun Valley before, right? So last year we had about 165,000 volunteers during that week. So I would ask you all again to please help out during that week to see if we can step up and help folks that need a little hand up, and we'll be happy to highlight your all's project and see how we can spread the good word about Sun Valley. Now, we've heard a couple different times about all these hundreds of volunteers that are coming together for VITA as well. Many of them are folks that just like numbers. They might be retired accountants. They just want to help folks. And interestingly, one of these volunteers also is an elected official here for our community, and that is your councilwoman, Cindy Fowler, who helps out with VITA. And we really appreciate both her public service and her work as a VITA volunteer. So please welcome Councilwoman Fowler.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. I'm so excited to be here today. I always am happy when our area gets to shine. And I've been invited to volunteer for 8 years. I started when Councilman Henderson started the program, helped to get this program going back in 1988. We started out at St. Clement's School on Johnsontown Road, and then we were at a little cubby next to the post office up in Valley Station for 3 years, and now we are at our forever home here at Sun Valley Community Center, which is a wonderful place to come and see all of our senior citizens, and then the families and everyone that come and have their taxes and trust their taxes to us. It's a very rewarding volunteer opportunity. I hope that other people will step forward and come learn how to do the taxes. We completely train you. So it's just very rewarding to get that hug at the end of the taxes when a young family has got a couple of $1,000s in their pocket that they didn't have before. So the earned income tax credit is so important to the vitality of our community. So I just thank you so much, and I also want to thank the Metro Council for their support every year. Since Councilman Henderson was in office, we have put money from our neighborhood development funds to help fund the site here at Sun Valley. So it's got a great legacy, and I appreciate all that the community does to make District 14 and the South End better. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I, too, would like to recognize Bob Henderson here. Bob and I work together on many projects, and I always appreciate you keeping the area clean and green. Good job. If you got a job, call him. Thank you, Bob. Now, you might ask, do these programs work? Because, look, if we're just up here flapping our jaws and the stuff doesn't work, then we shouldn't be doing it. So we asked two folks to come along and give some testimonials about what their experience was with VITA, so you could see how this really does work in real life. So first, we'll hear from Ann Miles, and then Gail Nelson. Ann?
Well, I came in today to get my taxes taken care of. And the reason I'm here today is because I was here last year, and it was absolutely so impressive. Everyone is very friendly, kind, and the whole system was so very well organized. And I left here confident that everything was done as it should have been, and it was. So I came back again this year, and I'll be back next year. Thanks.
All right, we all want consistency, so you can get it here. Gail, close us out strong. Come on up and testify.
Testify. I certainly will, Mr. Mayor, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to be here. I'm elephantly happy and peacock proud to really be here. Actually, I've been coming here for over a decade, and I ran into Larry and Rosemary Mattingly, and they have been a dynamic duo because I didn't know at first they were husband and wife, but I found out later. And they have been doing my taxes, and they really have been doing a great job. The volunteer income tax credit is an excellent program. It's a free program, and I really love that because you don't have to pay anything, of course. And I really like that 1 year when I had my taxes done, of course, after the new year and everybody do the New Year's resolutions, you want to lose weight and then you want to get your taxes done. So when I came and got my taxes done, I actually had the opportunity to go to Disney World. I've been wanting to do that ever since I was 6 years old. So we saved the money. The refund was so large until we actually saved it and went to Disney World. I really thought that was wonderful. So I crossed that off my to-do list. And so I really think that this program has helped so many people in our community. And I hope that it continue for years to come. And I definitely want to give Rosemary and Larry a shout out, and I'm praying for you. Stay strong. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
This has been a Metro TV production, a public service of Louisville Metro government.